everyone, welcome to another edition of News Generation. Guess what? It's our 200th episode. Boy, have we come a long way since that first one in January 2014. My name is Ifwa Akwa Harrison. In this episode, over 200 students of the Kimbu Senior High School sacked for not paying their school fees. Some students in the Eastern region get a brand new computer lab. It's all powered by the sun. And do you care about animals? Do you know some animals and plants could be lost forever? We'll tell you all about it on today's episode. Please stay with us. Remember, you can join us via all our social media platforms. We're on facebook.com/newsgenerationgh. We're also on Twitter @newsgengh. Now, about 200 students of the Kimbu Senior High School were sacked on Tuesday for failing to pay school and extra class fees. School authorities are asking students to go home because it's their only option since the deadline for payment of fees has passed. But the students told Joy News the decision to prevent them from attending classes could affect their preparation for the West African secondary school examinations.
I'll be starting my practicals next week, Monday.
So how is this going to affect you?
Oh, today we are doing something about the practical, but as we have been sacked, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have to go home.
You're doing practicals today?
We are doing, we are trying our hands on the practical work, yes. But I don't know what I'll do now. I have to go.
Is it that you don't tell your parents?
No, I've told my parents because they don't have money. If they have the money, they would have given it to us.
My mother didn't give me the money. So she's not having money.
So what form are you in?
Form 1.
Yes.
So how is this going to affect your studies?
If I don't learn, I can't pass, so I must sit up. So when I go, I'll go and tell my mother so that she can give me the money to come and pay.
I'm in Form 3.
Form 3?
Right.
Which course do you study?
I'm a visual student.
So you're starting your practicals in 2 weeks' time?
Yes, please.
So how is this going to affect your studies? And your performance in your final exam?
That's right now. Actually, they have to give us a chance to write the paper so that later we'll come and pay it.
Have you been telling your parents about this?
Yes.
And what have they been saying?
They said they've not get the money yet, so we should just tell the teachers that we should give her the chance to write so that we'll come and pay later.
Some students of the Kimbu Senior High School sharing their experiences with us. Now, there have been some religious controversies in educational institutions in Ghana. Because of that, the Ghana Education Service issued a statement directing all students and pupils to attend compulsory morning devotion in their respective schools. This has been greeted with mixed feelings from the general public. So what do young people think about this, given that the Constitution of Ghana provides for religious freedom? Yes, what's up?
For me, I think they are not invading on anybody's right because we are all worshiping one God. And what makes the difference is how they worship. For me, I don't think they are infringing on anybody's right because a Muslim can go to the church and pray. And at the same time, a traditionalist can go to the church and pray. So I don't think they are infringing on anybody's right.
I think what I saw on TV, it was not good to me. They are persuading people to join the morning devotion, whilst it's wrong. Because the law of Ghana permits every individual to worship the religion that you want. They are not supposed to force them to join the morning devotion because everybody have the religion that he worship and he must obey the rules and regulations in his religion.
I'm not a Catholic, neither am I a Muslim, but I worship at Christ Embassy Church. And so if they say I should go and do so, I will get angry because I don't believe in such things, and it also infringes on my rights.
Everybody has the right to worship, and the 1992 Constitution of Ghana says that I have the right and freedom to worship and join any association of mine. So nobody can force me to worship anybody, and nobody can force me to join anybody because if they do that, they are infringing on my rights. And if anybody is found guilty of doing that, the person is supposed to be arrested.
I say they are not infringing on anybody's rights, because when you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do. When you go to the Arab countries, when you go there, you also do what they are doing. So when you come to Ghana, I also have to do what you are doing. So I'm saying it's a good idea, because everything God first. And then if he or she can't, he should also go to a Methodist church, because when you go to Rome, you do what the Romans do.
I also think that when the people agree, it's different from when they are being forced to. When they agree, it's okay, then you can do it.
The Constitution of Ghana states that every person has the right to freedom of worship, and the only thing they can do to help them is to build another center for them to do their salat.
Your views on WhatsApp. Now, for school pupils in rural areas without electricity, learning information and communications technology is a serious challenge. Most of the children have no option but to imagine what the components of the computer look like. Others have to walk long distances to use the computers. But pupils of Dago LAJHS in the Kuapem South Municipality don't have to go through this anymore.
Before we move on to our next topic, I would like us to go through how to create folder.
This is an ICT class at Dago LAJHS in the Eastern region. The pupils are learning how to create folders. There is something special about this classroom. It is not the usual wooden or block classroom. This is a huge container fitted with desk, a 65-inch electronic board, and 24 internet-enabled notebooks, all powered by the sun. It is the first solar-powered internet school ever built in Ghana.
Folder is a container that we use to store information or keep information.
Before the coming of this solar-powered ICT class, authorities of Dago LAJHS bought these generator sets for pupils to learn ICT. The solar-powered internet school is to give students and teachers in the most remote parts of Africa access to education and innovation. The project is aimed at boosting information and communications technology education in rural Ghana. If this happens, students will not have to walk long distances for ICT education.
Please, now this SPIS have made ICT learning easy for us, because at first the time we were not having this SPIS, we travel all the way to Insaum before we learn ICT. But now it has made transportation easy for us, and we don't travel to anywhere. All the time when we have ICT, we just work here and come and learn.
This center has helped us in so many ways, because we were having only one computer in the school, and sometimes we don't even have money to go and buy petrol. But when this center came, when we had to learn ICT, we just come here and learn it, then we go away.
It has been of an immense help to the children as well as the community, because hitherto we were having only one system unit, which is operated with a generator, and this generator has to be fueled. So we find it very difficult generating funds to fuel this generator to provide electricity for the system unit to operate.
Double click on the target folder. This is the target folder.
For ICT teacher George Oheneboache, there has been a great improvement in the academic performance of pupils ever since the solar-powered internet school came some 7 months ago.
They are improving. It's far better than the previous years. Nowadays, things are improving because you ask them practical questions and they are able to answer you. So nowadays, things are getting better. Oh, this has been very helpful because at first we were using chalkboard illustrations. You have to illustrate, and they find it very difficult to understand because teaching in abstract, students find it very difficult to understand. But with this, they have the machines or the netbooks in front of them. You do it and they follow you and they are catching up. It's happening a lot.
Ironically, the Dago community has not had electricity for more than 50 years, which makes it difficult for pupils to go over what has been taught in school in the evenings.
Here, there's no light, so we buy torch lights and we use it to learn our notes.
Because there's no light, now the head is negotiating with Samsung so that they can wire the classroom so that we'll be able to send electricity to the classroom so that in the evening they will come around to learn and also come here and practice. We are now putting up a teacher's bungalow for us. So when the bungalow is finished, we'll move to the bungalow so that we'll be here in the evening to help them out.
Two teams, a goalpost, and sticks. It is nicknamed the game of intellectuals, but commonly known as hockey. There are two types of hockey, but in Ghana, young people play field hockey. News Generation's Eric Jessioting visited the Theodosia hockey turf at Tema Station in Accra to find out why some young Ghanaians have fallen in love with the game.
A weekend at the National Hockey Turf is a hive of activity for both young and old, who throng the premises.
So let your
Some of these young children have been learning how to play hockey for some time now. Hockey has become part of 9-year-old Frederick Kofi Danso's life. He knows a thing or two about techniques in hockey and why they are important.
Stick work, stick over ball, lifting, and rolling. So that's why we go to the national team. We can do it so that we can win the final.
Frederick just doesn't want hockey as something he does in his free time. He wants to take his knowledge of the game to another level.
I want to become a hockey national player because I like playing it.
If you have ever thought of hockey as a boys' game, think again. 12-year-old Priscilla Hammond is a keen hockey player. She says her parents supported her when she decided to play hockey.
My parents were in support of the decision I made to come here every Sunday. They supported me because they know the advantages in playing hockey.
In Ghana, hockey is not as popular as football. Coach of the junior hockey team, Haja Ramatu Abbas, thinks it partly has to do with the perception that hockey is a risky sport. Sometimes, players can get hit by the hockey stick.
It is not true. Hockey is not a dangerous game. And let me tell everybody that every sporting discipline in the world has its good side and the bad side. So if you are telling me that hockey is a dangerous thing, I disagree with you. Because in hockey game, we have rules and regulations. So anybody who does not abide by the rule or the regulation will be sanctioned. Every parent sitting at home watching me, I want to entreat you to bring your wards to the National Hockey Turf because we are here as a family. Your children will enjoy excitement. They also enjoy fun. We don't charge you. You come, but let your child come with his boots and then he will enjoy this area. Because without hockey, some will sit in the house without making friends. But when they come to the hockey turf, they make friends and have fun.
After observing these younger ones for some time, I decided to try my hands at the game. I wasn't as successful as I thought.
That looks like so much fun. Eric, I think you need to keep going for lessons. Okay, now when you think of crime, what comes to mind? Probably stealing, bribery, and things like that, right? But there are other crimes against wildlife, for instance, and that has put the world at risk of losing over 2,000 animals. It's almost the same figure, over 2,000, for plants too.
Some species in the world are being endangered, like migratory birds and sea turtles. I know that there have been some laws which have been put in place to check them.
I know that there are many animals in the world that are in danger of being extinct and they are being poached.
There are animals which have nearly become extinct, and in the past, animals were regarded as gods or something special, so they were treated with respect. But now, people poach animals because they feel like the animals are not for anybody. They are just there, so they have the rights to use them. But it's not the best thing to do because they are gradually making animals extinct, which means that there will be no access to food or anything. That's right, the world risks losing some animals and plants altogether. If that happens, you can't find any of those kinds anywhere. Wildlife clubs used to be popular in schools. Children were taught the importance of wildlife and the need to protect every kind. But now, the clubs are not common, and not everyone realizes how connected human life is to wildlife.
There's the drama club, there's the dancing club.
But no wildlife.
There's no wildlife.
Some wildlife are more at risk than others. They are labeled endangered and critically endangered. All that means if efforts are not made to preserve them, then they are lost totally and forever. In many forest areas, hunters kill animals for meat and their skin. This practice alone threatens many animals. Then there are hunters who mainly kill animals for their parts, like the elephant tusk used for ivory. There are huge illegal markets for these parts all over the world. Some parts are used for medicines, especially in China, while others are used as decorations. There have been efforts by NGOs and governments to end crime against wildlife, but that has not been enough. The crimes continue.
I have never ever heard someone being punished for cutting down trees or destroying wildlife. And I think these days they do not see, the wildlife and trees and stuff. They don't see it as sacred beings anymore, because I remember in the olden days it was very sacred. You can't cut down trees, you can't kill animals. Right now it's affecting us all, because if we kill all the animals, the wildlife, those who live in the wild, we will not be able to get very basic necessities such as food. They will not be able to give us manure for the plants. So basically there will be no life if we did not have wildlife.
Not everybody takes wildlife as the preservation of wildlife as being very serious. So I think it should be made, people should be made aware of this and should learn on these topics so that they can keep everything safe, every animal safe.
It seems that people think the rules are very relaxed, so I believe that if we enforce stricter rules and we enact them, as in we give them, let's say, imprisonment, we punish them, we take basic things from them, things that will make them know that what they are doing is not good, they would actually be able to obey the laws and preserve our natural life.
Well, I haven't heard of anyone being punished for violation of any of the wildlife or anything about that. I haven't heard anything about that. Well, I think that's very bad, because wildlife is a gift from God to mankind for us to take care of it. So if people are violating that, they should be punished drastically so that others may not repeat this ever again.
I know of NGOs that they protect the environment. They make sure that we are aware of the need to protect the wildlife, because it's an ecosystem, and without the wildlife there will be no balance, because we can't live without animals or plants, so we need the wildlife. So I know there are NGOs like Friends of the Earth, Green Earth, take care of the environment.
I think that there's a sentence that goes with poaching animals, but I think in addition to that, they should be given communal labor, which has something to do with the preservation of wildlife. So they will learn the effects of what they do,
so that they know that it's not right. We can help them by like spreading their word, like telling other people, because some people are ignorant of the effects of destroying their wildlife. So you can help them by communication. And we are students, so I'm not really sure about helping them with their funds, but we can talk to our parents and our friends and give them some funds.
In 2013, the United Nations declared every 3rd March World Wildlife Day to create attention to the need of stopping the loss of wildlife. In 2015, the UN says it's time to get serious about wildlife crime. Some 1,200 basic and senior high school students will be taking part in this year's Independence Day Parade on Friday, March 6. The students joined personnel from the Ghana Armed Forces and other security services for the final rehearsal ahead of the big day. Now, this year's Independence Day Parade has been grouped into two. First, the students themselves will have their own parade, and then, of course, the security forces, which include the Navy, the Marine, and other security personnel.
Ready! Shoot! 1,200 teachers and pupils drawn from their primary metropolis and the mass band from the Ghana Armed Forces and the Ghana Police Service, ready for inspection and lighting of the perpetual flame.
Okay, so we're all looking forward to the holiday. I hope you are too. Now, a video of a 3-year-old reciting the student creed in her taekwondo class is trending. Sophie Wong may be the youngest in her class, but she could probably take me in a fight.
I will develop myself in a positive manner and avoid anything that may reduce my mental growth or my physical health. Ready, stand, go! I will develop self-discipline in order to help bring out the best in myself and others. Set and ease. I will use common sense, speed for self-defense, and never be abusive or offensive.
How cute. Let's now take a look at other stories making news in a roundup. Ghana's presidential jet caught fire on Tuesday. The aircraft was on a special mission to Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, when a fault was detected. The president was not on board the flight and there were no injuries. The world's richest people's list is out. Almost 2,000 billionaires across the world were on the list. Co-founder of Microsoft, Bill Gates, is the richest man in the world for the 16th time. Minecraft creator Marcus Persson made the list, and 24-year-old Snapchat co-founder Ivan Spiegel has been named the youngest billionaire. Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg also got into the top 20 richest people's list for the first time. The list is made each year by American magazine Forbes. President of the Nepal Mountaineering Association, Ang Chering, wants the Nepalese government to take action against climbers who visit Mount Everest. According to Chering, too much urine and feces is being left behind by climbers on the mountain. There are no toilets at the very top of the world's highest mountain. Chering says the situation is causing pollution and could spread disease. More than 700 climbers and guides spend almost 2 months on the mountain slopes every year. Sam Smith and Ed Sheeran are at the top of the first UK album charts to take into account internet streaming as well as sales. The official charts company has come up with a complicated way of adding streams from the likes of Spotify, Deezer, and Google Play to the sales of downloads and CDs. Sam Smith went back to number 1 after picking up Best Breakthrough Artist and the Global Success Award. Ed Sheeran, who won Best British Male and Best British Album, jumped up to 2nd place, while George Ezra climbed 2 places to number 4. FIFA has given former Crystal Palace youth Michael Boateng a lifetime ban. The 23-year-old was jailed 16 months in December. He took a bribe to influence the final score of a football match for a team he was playing for. This means Boateng can no longer play professional international football. Finland hosted a 12-hour lawnmower ice Grand Prix. The race was run outside the town of Lavia, which is 250 kilometers from Finland's capital city, Helsinki. Drivers had to complete as many laps as possible of the 700-meter circuit within the time. Lawnmower racing teams from Estonia, Luxembourg, and England joined Finnish competitors. Team Luxembourg won the competition. They completed 843 laps. And that's it for this edition of News Generation. Catch us now on Joy Prime Wednesdays at 3:30 p.m. and on Saturdays at 10 a.m. We're also on 4Kids Wednesdays 4:30 p.m. and on Saturdays as well. And on Joy News Saturdays and Sundays at 4:30 p.m. Until next time, have a good day. Bye.